President Trump comments on Biden's cancer diagnosis. Speaker Johnson says that the Republicans are working around the clock to pass the one big beautiful bill, and Trump is expected to have a phone call with Putin tomorrow. Here's the top 5 reasons Trump is trending today. All right, number one reason Trump is trending today. Number one story that's actually trending right now is former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. The cancer has metastasized to the bone, according to the former president's personal office. President Donald Trump has commented on this, saying, Melania and I are saddened to hear about Joe Biden's recent medical diagnosis. We extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family, and we wish Joe a fast and successful recovery. Now, what's really interesting about this story is, and obviously, the entire GOP representatives have come out wishing well wishes for President Joe Biden, praying for him and his family. You don't really see that when it happens on the other side. There's no doubt about that. But the thing that's interesting about this is the timing, number one, of the release of this. And a lot of people saying that if this metastasized to the bone, it had to have been there for quite some time. That doesn't just happen right away. And I'm no doctor myself, just going based on what people are saying. And Joe Biden got a clean bill of health back in July, just under a year ago. So saying that, all systems go, both mentally and physically, all health-wise, all systems go. He was cleared. So did they lie and cover up the fact that Joe Biden already had early stages of this prostate cancer? We know that after the Robert Hur report was released, and now we heard the audio, we know that they were covering up Joe Biden's mental decline. I mean, it was obvious to all of us, but even on the inside now we have proof. Just listening to the audio tape from the Robert Hur interview, you could see that he had lost his marbles long ago. And so the cover-up of Joe Biden's health, just the mental part, if they were covering up this part of it as well, the prostate cancer, it is 100 times bigger than the Watergate scandal ever was. It also says, how much do they hate Kamala Harris that they robbed her of her only chance to become the first female president by having Joe Biden step down because he was mentally unfit and possibly physically unfit. You see him, we all remember watching him try to walk up the ramp to Air Force One, could barely make it. They were accusing everybody of doing cheap fakes or deep fakes. I mean, we all were watching this, and the media tried to spin it all around like you were a conspiracy theorist. But they hated Kamala Harris so much that they wouldn't have Biden step down to make her the first female president. And then, maybe because they knew the health was this bad, they forced him out as the candidate and shoved her in there with a small amount of time against the best presidential candidate in history. Trump was all systems go, and it was pretty much an impossible way. She's a bad candidate. She had a shortened period of time, and so she got blown away in the election. But yes, prayers for Joe Biden. You really want to see him get better so that he can spend the remainder of his life in prison where he really should be. And we know a lot more stories popping right now about Biden and the awful administration that he oversaw and the crookedness with the Biden family as well. So prayers for him to get better. He still needs to be prosecuted and put in prison. Number 2 reason Trump is trending today. Speaker Mike Johnson says that the House is on track to pass the Trump one big beautiful bill. This is what Speaker Johnson says. He says, we are working around the clock to pass President Trump's one big beautiful bill. It's a once-in-a-generation opportunity to deliver tangible relief for the American people, historical tax relief, largest investment in border security in a generation, historic spending cuts, restoring American energy dominance, and strengthening Medicaid and SNAP for the Americans who need and deserve them. Now, is anybody really buying that the Republicans have been working around the clock in the House? I mean, I don't think you could believe that for a second. They've been on vacation. They've been taking 4-day work weeks, 3-day work weeks. They're just about to have their Memorial Day recess. They haven't gotten any legislation passed. They got 4 bills or 5 bills to the president's desk in 120 days. And it's a little much to say that you've been working around the clock, and I think that they are pretty far away from getting this done. You got a lot of grandstanders, a lot of people that are going to be trying to get in the way of preventing this bill. I would much rather see single-issue bills than to see the one big bill put together, but we're going for the one big beautiful bill. I have a bad feeling that you're going to see way too many Republicans get in the way of the Trump agenda. Number 3 reason Trump is trending today, Hillary Clinton takes a swipe at Donald Trump, his administration, Elon Musk, everybody for wanting to have a baby boom in the country. So Hillary Clinton actually says, don't be a handmaiden to the patriarchy. She mocks the nuclear family unit, like, oh, yeah, they want to have women. They want them to be what they were born to do, make babies. They want women to make babies, these awful Republicans. They don't want them having more kids. And she also says that this is why we have the illegal immigrants, because they have all the kids. We don't need you to have kids. I mean, it's unbelievable the way that they look down on the stay-at-home moms. And we know this. The Democrats are against the nuclear family unit. They want mom in the workforce. They do not want mom at home raising the children. They want the government to do that. They do not want you there. They want, hey, mom, what are you doing? How dare, don't listen to those Republicans and have children, start a family, leave a legacy, enjoy the greatest experience God has meant for you to have on this planet. Don't you dare listen to those Republicans. Get in the workforce. Go get a 9-to-5 job. Work your tail off. And if you dare have children, you make sure the government raises those kids. That's the message from Hillary Clinton. Remember, this is a village to raise a child. These are our children. The children don't belong to the state. They don't belong to the government. They don't belong to the school system. They belong to their parents as a blessing from God, our Father. We can never forget that. And if you really want to get the true blessing from life, get married, start a family, leave a legacy. The future is family. Number 4 reason Trump is trending today. You got Tim Waltz over the weekend giving his commencement speech. Now imagine this. We just seen Trump give it a commencement speech, and it was historic. The way, I mean, you can only imagine, and the roar of the crowd when Trump came in at Alabama there for his commencement speech. You got Tim Waltz. What is he telling the kids? He's telling the kids that Trump's ICE agents are like the Gestapo from Nazi Germany. Could you imagine this? So ICE agents that are here to get illegal immigrants out of the country are like the Gestapo in Nazi Germany. Meanwhile, you had Tim Waltz in Minnesota during the pandemic offering a hotline so that you could call up and report your neighbor for not following the guidelines. Oh, your neighbor's not wearing a mask? Call up and rat him out. Or your neighbor's not abiding by the 6 feet apart? Call up the hotline, rat him out. Imagine, and this is the guy telling you that Trump has the Gestapo. And he says, Trump is a tyrant abusing power to persecute scapegoats and his enemies. Imagine saying this when we have a mugshot of the president, when you have Steve Bannon that was in prison, when you got Peter Navarro that was in prison, and now all of a sudden they have amnesia and they make it sound like, oh, Trump's weaponizing the government, the Department of Justice to go after his political enemies. They had President Trump sitting in a courtroom, right? They booked him. They called him a felon. They did every dirty trick in the book, and they put President Trump on this for how many charges? 90 different felony charges, whatever nonsense it was. And they have the gall to say, oh, Trump's a tyrant abusing power to persecute scapegoats and his enemies. That's Tim Waltz for you. But we know Tampon Tim, talk about Biden losing his marbles. Tampon Tim, he never had him to begin with. Number 5 reason Trump is trending today. He is scheduled to speak with Vladimir Putin tomorrow to try to bring peace in this Ukraine-Russia war, which it just seems to escalate. It just escalated today, as a matter of fact. You had Russia launching the war's largest drone attack, and so it seems like there's escalation there. President Donald Trump's going to have a phone call tomorrow with Putin to try to bring peace. We know he's been trying. He's the only one trying to bring peace to the entire Ukraine-Russia war. He wants to see all of the senseless killing come to an end, and I'm telling you this right now. If President Donald Trump does get this done, talks to Putin, is able to broker a peace deal, they will never give him credit for doing it. They are going to make Zelensky the hero no matter how all this plays out. The media has already got the typeset, already got the headlines already printed up. It'll be Zelensky's the hero no matter if Putin decides to step down and say, hey, we're going to give up this thing, no matter if Trump brokers the deal, no matter what happens, Zelensky will be the hero. That's already set in stone from the lamestream fake news media. You can bet on that. And if you enjoy these breakdowns, make sure you follow the podcast so you can hear the top 5 reasons why Trump is trending each and every day.
Trump is trending, he's everywhere. From the news to the cat babies in our air.